Hello friends, myself Dr. Adis Kumar Dubey. Welcome in our economics channels, ePathshala. Students, in today's lecture, we are discussing about the demand schedules and demand curves. Before this lecture, we have completed what is the demands and what is the how many types of the demand and what are the affecting features in the demand. These all things are being discussed on the previous lectures. Today, basically, we are focusing the structure of the schedule. It means demand schedules and what are the how can make the demand curve by the help of demand schedules. Uh, then after we are going to discuss on our next lecture about the law of demand. So in this lecture, the title, the content are basically focusing on the demand schedules and which are now we are going to discuss. Those students who are newly be joined this groups or this channels, they must be have to subscribe it for the latest update and press bell icon for notifications. And if you are getting the benefits, you are satisfied with this lecture, you must be have to prefer to your other friends for subscribing this channel, by whom the family of this channel will be increased. Now, now starts the lectures. Students, as we know that demand means the the demanding quantity of the commodities on a given price and a specific period. There are five factors as earlier we have to discuss. First is the price of the commodities, time of the commodities, definite commodities, and the intense wants, intense desire of the consumers, paying having capacity and also to intensity to pay. These five factors are making a demand. But now this definition is is suitable for identifying the demand. It is necessity, it is desire or demand. When we are discuss about what is demand, it means it means having interest, having desire, paying capacity, intensity to pay, time, place. These all things are the basic factors for being a demand. But in this lecture, we cannot focus on what the demand. We focus that we have a price and how many amounts of that commodities were demanded on that prices. Students, demand schedules and demand curve is is the concept where already we know that there is a demand. What the demand, it is discussed. So in this lecture we cannot be discussing about what the demand, but we start our lectures with what the demand schedule and how many types of the demand schedule. Now just go the definition of the demand schedule. Schedule, as you know, that schedule means a form of table. Schedule means a set of some sensor, some data, some meaningful data. So by this analysis, we can be define the demand schedule. Demand schedule shows the quantities of the commodities to be purchased at a given price at a particular point of time. When the time is given, when the prices are being given, prices we can say, not a single price. If the single price is there, it means this is the demand. If the offering prices are there are so many prices, and it will be shown that how much amount are being demanded on the different price level. This is called the demand schedule. In other words, we can say that demand schedule shows the functional relation between the price and the quantity demanded. Functional relation, if the prices are be changed, what the relations are shown in the quantity demanded. If the prices of the commodities is increased, what happen in the demand? If the so this is these all things are these all contents are be the parts of this lecture. These all contents are be the basic function, basic concerning topic of the this lecture still. So now in this lecture, basically we are going to discuss what the demand schedule is. Demand schedule is means the parts of the demanding of the commodities on the various prices. Now, the student, the definitions of this demand schedule: the quantity of a commodities sold in a market at a given price at a given time. If that quantities of the commodities is written in the forms of table, then it is called the demand schedules or demand table. This was given by the Professor Benham. Professor Benham says demand schedule or demand tables are expressing the numerical concept or senses of demanding quantity on the various price of the commodities on a given time and period. So this is the definition of the demand schedule by the Professor Benham. Now, one more definition is given by the Professor Samuelson. Professor Samuelson says the table of the demand, or we can say the demand schedule, in which the relationship between the price and quantity purchased is revealed in the called the schedule of the demand. According to the Professor Samuelson, we have the prices of the commodities. We have different prices of the commodities, and what it effect on the demand. This is the shown by this relation is shown by the demand schedule. It means the relation between the price and the quantity is shown by the demand schedule. So, students, Professor Samuelson said the demand schedule is showing the relationship between the price and the quantity purchased. So, in notes, after observing these definition by the Professor Samuelson and Professor Benham, we can say that demand schedule is a table which gives the quantity demanded of the commodities at a given price at a particular point of time. Or in other words, we can say that the demand table or demand schedule gives the functional relation between the prices and the quantity demanded by a person on a specific time, period, and place. So this is the demand schedule, student. Now, the student, the types of demand schedule. The demand schedule can be divided into two types. First, the personal demand schedule, or it also we can say the individual demand schedule. The second, the market demand schedule, group demand schedule, or the market demand schedule. The combines of the more individual persons demand schedules make a market demand schedule. Now we are observing it individually. Students, first, individual demand schedule. An individual demand schedule of table is a schedule that provides information about a person in relations to how much quantity of that commodity he is buying at a given price at a particular point of time. Thus, the demand schedule or the individual demand schedule reveals the functional relationship between the price of a commodities or services in a quantity demanded. This can be shown by the following schedule. And now you are observing, you are seeing the schedule. When the price of the X commodities, it's X commodities and the demand of a person, Ram, Sam, Mohan, Suresh, what you can say. When the price of the X commodities is 1 rupee, then that person are demanding the 60 amount of the commodity, 60 number of the commodity. But when the prices will increase, it will 2 rupees, then the demand is 50 units. Further, the 3 rupees, it's on 40, 5 rupees, it's on 30, 50 rupees, it's on 20, and the last but not least 6 rupees, it 10. So students, the prices are be changed from 1 rupees to 6 rupees, and the demanding quantity all are also be changed from 60 units to 10 units. This is the functional relations. Now see, this is the functional relations between the price and demand, and it will be shown by the demand schedule. The prices are increases, and in this situation, the demands are decreases. This is the common relation. This is the relations, universal relations, unanimous relation for the demand and the prices. Some specific commodities are exempted from this relation, and that are the matter of the discussion Later on, we are going to discuss about that thing. But in this scenario, we can say for a common commodities, when the prices of the commodities are increases and then the demanding quantity are be decreases, and it will clearly be shown by the individual demand schedule. It is observing about the individual behavior of a consumers while increasing the prices of the commodities, what reactions showed over the demanding pattern of that consumer. Now, in the given schedule, in the given individual demand schedule, you are seeing that when the prices of the commodities are being increased from 1 rupees to 6 rupees, then the demand of the commodities, whether in the price of 1 rupees, it will be 60 units, and after increasing the price 1 to 6 rupees, then the demand will be decreased from 60 units to 10 units. It means it have an inverse relation. It have a negative relation. It have a opposite relation between the prices and the demanding schedule. Now, the students, the details of this tables for the point of the examination, for the point of view of the examinations, is in a clear form. The above tables that are the price of a commodities increases, its quantity demanded decreases. When the price of the commodities is 1 rupees, then the 60 rupees of the commodities are demanded. Whereas when the prices of the commodities increases from the 1 rupees to 6 rupees, the quantity demanded becomes 10 units. That is, there is an inverse relation between the price and the quantity demanded. It will be written in the examination for the detailing or the description of the table. Now, the students, the market demand schedule is the group of the individual demand schedule. Students, a market schedule means not a market demand schedule, but it's the group of the various consumers. There are so many consumers of the commodities. There are so many consumers are consuming the single commodity. Market is not a person. Market is not a place. Market is a unanimous where the maximum consumer. It means where the total consumer of the commodities are demanded the commodities on the various amount on the given price level. So the groups of that prices demanding of the commodities by the various consumer unanimously is called as the market demand schedule. So it will be detailified as the market demand tables list the sums of the quantity demanded for a commodities by all the buyers at different prices over a given time period, not of a particular individual. For example, let's say that there are only 3 buyers in the market. So what is the sum of the demands of those 3 buyers at different possible prices will be the aggregate demand of the market. This demand will be the market demand tables, and now in the tables we all have to see the prices is 1 rupees to 6 rupees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means the various prices level, and there are 3 consumers A, B, and C. We are only be considered here 3 consumers. When the price of the commodities X commodities is A 1 rupees, then the A consumer are demanded it's 9 units, and further increasing the prices from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will be decreases from the 9, 6, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, so on. And another buyer, that is the B, when the prices of the commodities is 1 rupees, they are purchasing its 17 units. As the demand and price relations, when the prices are being increases, we have to decrease the quantity of the commodities from the 17 to 16, 15, 14, 13, and 12 further. Now, in the third consumers for the C, it also be demanded the commodities on the various prices on the various proportion. First, when the prices is 1 rupees, they demanded the commodities 7 units. As you see in the table, when the prices is 1 rupees, the demand is 7 units. When the demand is 2 rupees, when the prices is 2 rupees, then the demand is 6 units. Further, 3 rupees, it's the 5 rupees. Further, it's the 4 rupees. Now the demanding quantity by the C is 4 units. The prices is 5 rupees. The demanding quantity by the C is 3 units, and further the prices is 7 rupees, and now the demand is decreases, and it is on the 2 units. So in this schedule, we can say there are various consumer A, B, C who are demanding the commodities of X on the various price level, like 1 rupees, 2 rupees, 3 rupees, 4 rupees, 5 rupees, and 6 rupees. So after adding the demands of A, B, C, we get the total demand of the market. Now calculate it, add it. 17 plus 9 plus 7 is equal to 33. 8, 16 plus 8 is equal to 30. 5, 15 and 7 is equal to 27. 4, 14 and 6 is equal to 24. Further, 13 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 21, and last but not least, 12 plus 2 is plus 4 is equal to 18. This is the demand schedules of market as per the discussion. Now it will be written in the examination point of view as in this form. As we can see in the above tables, we have got only 3 consumers at the market. That is, there are only 3 buyers in the market, which will be the sums of the demands of these 3 buyers, which is placed on the for right side will be demanded of the markets. Here also, as we can see the that with increasing prices, the market demand is also decreasing. This is the content of market demand situation. Now the students, the demand curve, very simple word. The pictorial presentations or the graphical forms of the schedule of demand is called the demand curve. What we have to observe, what we have to understand by the demand schedule, if we are plotting it, if we are presenting it in the form of diagram, in the form of picture, in the form of graph, then it is called the demand curve. When we present the quantities demanded graphically, we can get a curve called the demand curve. It was the we can say details or introduction of the demand curve. So there are no needs for defining it in a large definition. It is simple. The peculiar presentation of the demand schedule is the demand curve. And now you see in the diagram, in the graph students, in the peculiar form of graphical forms, the commodities prices, the price of the goods on OY axis and the quantity of the goods is on the OX axis. When the prices of the X commodities is 5 rupees, the demanding quantity is 1 unit to demand. The prices of the 4 X commodity is 4 rupees, and it will be demanded by 2 units by A consumers and X commodities. 3 rupees is demanded by 3 units, 2 rupees is demanded by 4 units, 1 rupees is demanded by 5 units. So here we can say that students, individual persons are decreasing the demands from increasing the prices, or here the increasing the demands by decreasing the prices. So this is all concerned about the demand curve. Students, we also can say that it is the example of individual demand curve, because here one buyer are buying the commodities, and that is the X commodities. So the same tables or same observation is made for the individual demand curve. So we just pass it and we'll go on the market demands. Students, As before this, we are defining the same diagrams for the exam point of view. As we can see that the prices on and demands of the commodities are marked on the diagram. Prices is on y-axis and demand is on x-axis. Here we can see the 5 different points has been marked. They are telling that there is no much demand as such a price, so much demand as a such price. As it is clear from the diagram that as the price is increases, so in the demand for it show that inverse relations between prices and the demands. Here we say the prices is increases and the demand is the decrease. This is the relations of the price and the demand. Now students, to see the market demand. Market demand means the group of the individual demand. Now here we say dx is the demand of the x buyers, dy is the demand schedule of the y buyers, and dz is the demand schedule of the z buyer. Now the combinedly, unanimously the adding of dx, dy, and dz is become shown by the dd diagram. It means the sums of the individual demand curves is shown in the individual group demand curve is called the market demand curve. And there are no such explanations are required for the market demand curve. So we just casually have to finish it. Now the students, the assumptions of the demand curve. What are the features? What are the important segment for being defining the demand curve? The demand curve is based on the following assumption, and that assumptions are: there is no change in the natures, interest, and income of the consumers. If the natures of the consumers are be changed, if the income of the consumers are be changed, if the interest, natures, and income of the consumer are changed, then the consumers are preferring the new commodities on a new situations. So for detailing, for analyzing the demand curve, we must be assume that there are no change in the nature, interest, and the income of the consumer. Further, the second assumption is the price of the various goods is in which the consumers is interested in consumptions remain unchanged. What the commodities consumer prefer for the consumption, the prices will not to be changed. Their prices will not to be affected. If the prices will be affected, then the price different demand curve is also we have to disturb. So it is another observation. It is another assumption for the observing of demand curve. Now third, the demand curve shows an steady state. It is showing the steady state. It is not to be showing the casual state or some other. So this is showing the this is showing the steadiness of the demand curves or the relations of the demands with the price and the demanding quantity. Now next is the changes is reciprocal relationship of the prices and the demands take place continuously. If the prices are be changed, then it also we have to effect on the demanding quantity. It means they have a relations, they have a reciprocal relation between the price and the demanding commodity. When the prices are being increased, then the demands are being decreased. This is the another example of this another assumptions of the demand curves. Now, a continuous demand curves assume that that there can be small units of each commodity. The commodities what the consumed by the consumers have a perfect units and a small pieces. Like we want to consume a car, and the firms are providing me a group of a set of 100 cars. So this is not to be affordable for me, and this is not to be appropriate for me. We want to be eat a slice of bread, but the shopkeeper says that we must have to satisfy your needs with the large amount of the commodity, large number of the commodities. So this is not to be the perfect shapes. Here we can say each and every commodities are in a small pieces, and it have to effective for the satisfaction of the human need. So there are no such units that are be separately that are be divided into the fractions, and half and fraction units cannot be observed here. So there must be a assumption that each and every commodities are be perfectly to be utilized on the systems. And if uh, the points of the discussions is started from the size of the commodities, so it is perfect for the consumption. Now the next, no new substitutions items should be discovered. While the analysis of the consumptions, while the analysis of the demand schedule analysis, there are no innovations are be occur. If the new innovations are be occur, it affect the demanding patterns of the commodities, because the new innovations are either good or bad. If it is good, then the consumers are shifted their consumption without changing the prices of the commodities onto the another consumer. So this was the another drawback of this analysis. And the last but not least, the prices of the economy should not be expected to change further in the future. The prices of the commodities are, if changed, then it is not to be expected that the prices of the consumers are must be have to change on coming futures. If the prices are be increased in the coming future, then having the decreasing on the prices, the demand is also be increased. If the prices are chances to decrease on the futures while decreasing in the current scenario, but after decreasing the prices of the commodity, the demand is also we have to decrease, because it is providing the adverse relation between the in this situation. So this was the assumptions of the demand curve. Now, students, the change in the demand curve. What are the circumstances by whom the demand curve will be have to change? So in these cases, there are four parameters for changing the demands curve. Actually, it is only two, but for the study purpose, for the easy study purpose, we can discuss it on the four units. Naturally, it have a two group. First group is income and the increases in the demands and decreases in the demands. In these condition systems, only the prices of the prices of the commodities will be changed. If due to only changing the prices of the commodities, or one effect of the commodities are be changed, and by whom the demand is either increased or decreased. If the prices is increases, then the demand is decreases. If the prices are decreases, then the demand is increases. So naturally, they are in the discussion of both in a group. But here we are for the detailing purpose, we are discussing into the two headings. Same for this concept. Expansions and contractions, both two are the important parameters for the expansion and the contractions demand schedule. Now, students to see the individually by one this observation. So first, we have to see the increasing in the demand. Students, when the prices of the commodities does not change, but due to change in the other elements, demand increases. That is, say the increases in the demand. When the demand increases, the demand curve shifted to the upward side. Two things is there: prices and the income. If the prices is not to be changed, then due to changing the income of the commodities, the demanding quantity are be shifted to upward direction. Not only the income, but there are so many factors are there by whom if the demand curves are shifted into the upwards, it is called the increasing in the demand. As you see on the diagram, when the prices is 12 rupees, the demanding quantity is 80 rupees. Without having change in the prices is still on the 12 rupees, but the demand is now change into the 150 rupees. So it is the increase in the demand. Without having change in the prices of the commodities, the demand is changed from the demand of D curve to it is shifted on the D2 curve. So this was the uh, cause of the increasing in the demand. Now see the diagrams of this observations. As we can see in the above picture, here is the commodities in the same due to the change due to the change in some other elements, its demands has increases from the 80 units to 150 units. With this, the demand curve has shifted slightly from the D to D2, and increases in the demands has this effect on the cost. So this is the observation of the increasing in the demands. Now the student decreasing causes of the increasing in the demands. First, falls in the prices of complementary goods. If the complementary goods prices are being falls, on that situation, the demand companies also we have to uh, mm, shift it. Next is the falls in the prices of the alternative commodities. Due to changing the price of the alternative commodities, the demand also we have to shift it upward direction. And lastly, the price to rise the future if the expectations are being observed that the prices are being increased in the current scenario, but in the coming future, the prices of the commodities is also we have rapidly be changed. So in this circumstances, in these situations, in this process, basically we can say the demand curve is shifted to upward directions. Now the students, the downward slope decreasing in the demand when the own prices of a commodity does not change, but due to the change in the other factors, there the decrease in the demand. There, this change is called decrease in the demand. In this, there is no change on the prices of the commodities, but it's decrease. When this demands and the curve slide to be left, and this is always shown on the diagram due to some of conditions. If the prices are not to be changed, but the demand is decreasing from the 150 quantity to the 180 quantity, this is the decreasing in the demand. And the explanation of this points is in the above examples, as we can see that there is no change in the prices of the commodities at all, but its demand is decreased due to the changing in the some other component. Due to this, the demands curve shifted from D2 to D. There is a therefore a falls in the demands that this effect on the costs are shown. So this is the demands of the especially you can say the decrease on the demand. Now the cause of the decreasing. First, the decreasing in the consumer's income. When the incomes of the consumer is decreasing, the consumers are not to be able to buy, not to be able to face the burden of this commodity on the wealthier classes. So automatically their demand will be decreasing without having change in the prices of the commodity. Now the further increases in the price of the complementary goods. If the prices of the complementary goods are be changed, then in this circumstances, and then in this situation, the demand curve also we have to shift into downwards, down slope, because when the prices are be changed of complementary commodities, then the people are be preferring those commodities. If the prices are decreases, then the preference that commodities or those commodities, this is affect the demand pattern of the commodity. Now the next is the fall in the prices of the substitute commodities, and last but not least, expected the prices to drop in the future. Now the third one is the explanation expansion of the demand. Expansion means the increases on the demand. It's not a situation where there is no change in the all other factors or other elements of commodities, but decreases in the overall cost and increases in the demands. Then it's called expenses of demands, where this happens to curves does not move from its place, but increases in the demand can be seen like here. the prices of the commodity is 16 rupees, and now it becomes 12 rupees. When the price is 16 rupees, then the demanding quantity is 60 units, and when the price is 80 rupees, then the demanded quantity is increasing from 60 units to 80 units, as shown in the details section, students. As we can see in the given pictures, here is the prices has fallen from the 16 rupees to 12 rupees, due to the which the demand has been increased from the 60 units to 80 units. However, we can see that the curves has not been shifted from its place due to increasing in the demand, but there has been a change in the current demands. Because of this, the present demands for the commodities has been shifted from the point A to B. Therefore, the expansion is demanded has this effect on the curve. This was the expansion on the dimension. Separately, in the separate lecture, we are discussing about the expansion on the demand, but now it is only the introduction section. So the contraction in the demand, such a situations occurs when there is no change in the other elements of the demands for a commodities, but an increases in the its prices leads to a fall in the demand. Such a situation is called contractions demand. When this happens, the water curve, or we can say the demand curve, does not move from the place to place. Just the quantity demanded decreases due to the which is the moves to the left, and the rise price rising up, and it is shown here. The prices are being increased from the 16 units to 18 units, and now the demand is become 12 unit to 80 unit to 60 unit. This is the effect shown on the demanding quantity, or we can say the contraction in the demand. So little now the details or explanation of the diagram. As can be see, we can be see that in the given pictures, the prices of the commodity has been increased from the 12 rupees to 16 rupees, as a result of which the demand has comes down from 80 units to 60 units. Due to this, the current demand has shifted from point A to B. Due to this, there is no change in the positions of the demand curve. Therefore, contraction is demand has this effect on the curve, and this was the contractions on the demand. So in this lecture, students, we are studying about the demand, what the demand schedules, and what the demand curve. Especially, we are studying only these two topics. On next lecture, students, we are studying about the law of demand. Before law of demand, there are so many basics information must be required, and all these informations we are completed now in this series. So must watch these lectures, must see the all three lectures on the different parameter of different introductions points of the demand, and then after we are assembling here, we are continuing our the next lecture from on the topic, that is the law of demand. So students, I hope you are enjoying it. I hope you are benefited for this lecture series. If you are benefited for this lecture series, if you have a benefits by this series, you must be have to comment me. You must be have to inform me by commenting on this channel. That is your e-Pathshala or Avadhesh sir ki economics classes. And now, students, I think the motive of this lecture is completed. So thanks you, thanks a lot for cooperation. Thanks a lot for the viewing us. Thanks a lot for seeing these lectures and believing on this lecture series and making it effective. Thank you, students. Thanks a lot. I hope you are enjoying it. Must be subscribed, and last we can say must be subscribe this channel and suggest to other persons for more subscription. Thank you, students. Thanks a lot.